Next, we will hear from His Excellency Zlatko Lagumdzija.
네, 질라트코 라금지아 전 보스니아 헤르체고비나 총리님께 큰 박수 보내주시기 바랍니다.
Please welcome His Excellency Zlatko Lagumdzija with a big round of applause.
Chairman Lee, Excellencies, friends, brothers and sisters, it is really an honor to stand in front of you as a peace protectors, as peace advocates, as peace activists, peace workers. It is an honor. Allow me to start by sharing with you one personal story. I'm coming from Sarajevo, European Jerusalem, just to use the name given to us by Pope Francis visiting us almost 3 years ago, sending to us words of peace be with you, salam. I have decisive and clear commitment for common mission that hopefully we all share. Introducing, supporting, promoting, and implementing the concept of shared societies and values in peace and sustainable development that can be shared globally, regionally, and within individual societies. In its 25 years long history, Bosnia and Herzegovina went through the process of failing to prevent conflict over the very brutal war, last genocide in the 20th century in Europe, peace process, and finally post-conflict state building through ongoing Euro-Atlantic integrations and participation in UN peace missions. 25 years ago, laying in a hospital bed, going through dozens of heart surgeries, after being heavily wounded on the main pedestrian street of my hometown, Sarajevo, walking to a meeting with UN commander, as at that time Bosnian Deputy Prime Minister and Head of State Committee for Cooperation with UN Structures, I came by my own experience to the conclusion that peace is not everything, but without peace nothing else is possible. But we should always have in mind that war and atrocities, crime and genocide is not committed by ordinary soldiers who was pulling the triggers, but by the evil minds and leaders who are misusing followers for their personal criminal gain or personal gain. So that summer, 93, journalist friend of mine who was reporting from wars all over the world came to visit me in hospital, not knowing was it our last meeting or will I be lucky to go through the hard recovery. On his way out, he stopped, he turned back and said, "Forgive me for this, but can I ask you something that may not be so proper? One day when this war stops, if you would have a chance to meet the soldier that was enjoying barbecue and beer someplace on Sarajevo besieged surrounding hills and pulling the trigger on a heavy gun while launching grenade on main pedestrian street of the city that killed 3 civilians with their very same moment when I was heavily wounded, what would you tell him?" I answered in a moment from the bottom of my heart, I would not like to meet him, because he's the poor man who did not know what he was being part of and what he was doing. But I would like to see in a war crime tribunal his chief commander, his president, war criminals, General Mladic and Karadzic, who drove us, soldiers and civilians, to the war in which victims' only guilt was the fact that they were not of the same religion or ethnicity, like perpetrators. Only because they were different along some identity or ideology. Mladic and Karadzic are today in front of International War Crime Tribunal in Hague, sentenced for the worst crimes, including genocide in Srebrenica. I see those verdicts as a small building blocks of conflict prevention mechanism anywhere in the world, and not only as a symbol of postponed justice in my country. So laying in a bed, in hospital bed, I knew that if I ever get out of war, whatever I do in the rest of my life, I will keep working on sharing my thoughts, my experiences and values in a simple mission, to do everything I can so that what happened to us happens never again to no one in this world. That is why I'm standing here. Thank you, Chairman Lee, again, in front of you with the credible conviction that this is not only a clear signal for Balkan and Europe, but for the rest of the world as well, that justice and rule of law are best conflict prevention mechanisms. Peace is justice in action. And this is the reason why I'm so thankful first to Chairman Lee, to WARP, to HWPL, and of course for declaration of peace and cessation of war, and all the work done under this roof and offering me chance to be with you on a common journey to a promised land. We do believe that all people can live in peace and prosperity, but we do know that it is our only chance to reach it if we are together, if we are one, on a journey determined with a shared leadership for shared future in shared societies and environmental sustainability, shared leadership for peace and harmony of people, planet, and technology, shared visions, shared values, passion, and perseverance for peace and prosperity. I do believe in a bright and shared future along that winding road with shared leadership in shared society. So, Chairman Lee, I'm sharing with you my thoughts and my feelings on my 25th year of second life given to me by mighty force after almost deadly war injuries on the streets of my home city. I do not have answers for major today's problems, but we are all aware of unpredictability and difficulties that days ahead are carrying with us. So why I'm happy today? Because while going through the Bosnian War in the besieged city of Sarajevo, I have seen the promised land someplace in front of us, our shared future and shared societies in peace and harmony. Promised land in which 7 sins or roots of conflicts, exclusion, inequality, injustice, poverty, fear, populism, and ignorance are confronted with better angels of our nature, with our virtues or conflict preventers, with inclusion, compassion, justice, sustainable development, hope, culture, and education. I know that we can together fight the true threats to peace and to our societies. Alone, we can go faster. But if we want to go further, then we have to go together. And do not ever forget that we are on the right side of history. We are one because we are all angels with one wing. We can fly only by embracing each other, all together, because we are one.